Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It's Tuesday, July 30th. And we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions. The we is me, Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst and certified financial planner. And the other part of we is my cohort, Mark Talercio, also a certified financial planner. Mark, nobody ever asks anymore if we're married or involved. Remember the people used to ask that early on in the show?
I do not remember that.
Oh, yes. We used to are you guys a couple? No, we're not. Mark, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. We are wrapping up July, heading into August.
Can't believe it. It's just remarkable. And this will then begin my August wedding odyssey. I have 3 weddings in August, 2 that are relations and 3 that's almost a third is almost a relation, like very dear friend. So one is
where are these weddings taking you?
Brooklyn, which, as you know, is a very far trip for me.
God's country. Okay, where else?
Right. Then Maine. And the other one is on the North Fork of Long Island. So all 3 are going to be great. They're amazing. I'm very excited about that. Also, as we enter into August, you know what it is, Mark. I love August because it is the anniversary of the Social Security system in the United States of America. Do you know that? I just have that off the top of my head, baby. That's you probably don't even realize.
That's why you love August?
Yep.
August. Not for like NFL training camp or stuff something like that.
Nope. I love it because there are very few topics that every single one of our listeners, it impacts their lives. And Social Security is one of them, right?
But most people aren't even thinking about it.
I know, but that's...
Even when they think about their finances, most people, they neglect to factor in or think about Social Security, especially those people who are younger.
I know.
But so it's a huge part.
Humongous part, and it's very important, and I really want to make sure that people are focused on it. So that is why today we are going to air a segment that I recently did on CBS Mornings about Social Security. Now, the prompt was that there's a big change to Social Security about getting into the Social Security website, ssa.gov. And so that was my prompt to say to the show, like, oh, good, I can talk about Social Security. And, all the young producers, they kind of roll their eyes. They're like, well, all right. Like, they don't care about it. But we do. Everyone should care about it. And you'll hear me get very excited about it. So here is me talking to anchor Nate Burleson about the changes in Social Security. And on the other side of it, Mark and I will talk a little bit more about the Social Security system in general. So here is the segment that aired.
In today's Money Watch, we have a new alert that'll impact millions of Social Security beneficiaries. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is here to break it all down. Jill, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so what does it change and who does it impact?
Okay, it kind of impacts everybody who works because the portal for the Social Security system is changing. So what you need to know is if you're receiving Social Security benefits, this is not going to change your checks. It doesn't mean that.
Okay.
It means that anybody who had an account, the My SSA account, and you started that before September 18th of 2021, you've got to go back in and start over. And if you've never actually registered there, you're going to start fresh. Okay. Here's what.
So what does starting over mean, though?
What it means is you go to ssa.gov/myaccount.
Okay.
There are 2 ways that you'll be able to log in. Login.gov or ID.me. Okay. The login.gov actually is pretty helpful because you can log into all government websites, including the IRS.
Okay.
Now, the reason I think this is terribly important for everybody is there are great tools. You can estimate how much money you're going to get in Social Security. You can look at the different choices. And it's important that you do this because we want everybody to make this decision with a lot of information in hand.
Okay, so when can you start to claim your Social Security benefits and how do you actually do it?
So, you can go on the website, you'll register, right. You can call, you can go into a local Social Security office. There are 3 ages that are really important.
3 ages.
62.
Okay.
67, 70.
Okay.
You can claim your benefits as long as you've worked for 10 years, not necessarily consecutively, 40 quarters or 10 years.
Okay.
You can claim as early as age 62. Here's the problem. When you claim at age 62, your benefit for Social Security retirement permanently reduced by about 25%. So that's not good for you, and it's not good for a non-working spouse who's claiming on your record. For anyone born after 1960, that the age is 67, that's your full retirement age. If you wait till age 70, you can maximize your Social Security benefits.
That makes sense.
And by the way, if you wait till 70, you're getting up to 8% a year extra.
Yeah.
These are benefits that are indexed for inflation. It is a valuable source of income. 40% of Americans actually rely on Social Security alone for their retirement. So the more you can get, the better off it will be.
And if you can afford to wait, it's more beneficial.
Much
and younger
better.
people should look into it, right?
Absolutely. It's not going away. The system will get fixed.
There you go.
So, Mark, you know, in this segment, I talked about the fact that people have to go to ssa.gov/my-account. You create a login.gov ID or an ID.me account. The login.gov, that's the one that you can use, that you may have used to do your taxes, right? If you have an existing login.gov account, you don't have to create anything new or take any action. So that's the good news for those of you who do that. So, Mark, thank you for making me do that. You did make me do that, right?
You're welcome. It's a pretty seamless process if you're ready to use that system.
Yeah, but I will say that it is a pain in the neck to log into it the first time, to create it. There's a lot of security, right?
Yep.
So I get that. Anyway, so that's what you need, ssa.gov/my-account. Okay. So you also heard me talk about the three important ages, 62, 67, 70. But I want to remind everyone that even if you can wait just every single month or year that you wait, it gets better and better for your retirement benefits. So even if you're like, oh, I really need to claim at age 65, then don't do it at 62. If you can do it at 65, even those few years will help you. Yes, you're going to have a reduced benefit, but if you can't possibly make it to your full retirement age, even that extra few months or a couple of years is going to help you. All right. Don't forget, Social Security is adjusted for inflation. So that is a great way to deal with your very mercurial inflation rate in the future, right? So, Mark, the one question I did not get to in this, how solid is the Social Security system? Should younger workers count on it? What's your answer?
100%, yes. I mean, like we always say, if you're in your 20s, there's going to be changes, but it's not going away. I mean, that's like political suicide. It's not going away.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like we've been talking about how, you know, elections are not the reason to change your investments. But what is also very clear is that the system is so important for so many people that just kind of reducing it or bleeding the system dry, it's not going to work because people vote when this kind of thing happens. So remember, Social Security is a pay-as-you-go system, okay? That means it's funded by you and your bosses, right? Workers and their employers. There are payroll taxes or FICA taxes, right? So that's really kind of like the basis of this. So the amount is 6.2% that you pay as a worker, but then your boss also pays. By the way, if you're self-employed, you pay both sides of it. So it's 12.4%. Just to remind you that everyone pays, okay? This is not your Medicare taxes. There's a separate charge for Medicare taxes. All right. But just for payroll, for FICA and the Social Security part of it. Okay. The system really was conceived as 1935, that when you came into the system, when you were paying money in, the money that came in paid for retirees' benefits. Okay. So whatever came in paid for the people who are already retired. So Mark, you would be working for your grandmother, essentially, when you first started to work, right? Now, when there was more money coming into the program than was going out, there was a surplus, and that became the Social Security Trust Fund. Now we get a trustee report every year, like the most recent one came out a few months ago. And the surplus is all those baby boomers who are coming into the system, they're now retiring. They are sort of pulling money out of the system faster than new people who are working. So right now, the Social Security Trust Fund, just the Social Security, not the disability one, the Social Security Trust Fund will be able to pay scheduled benefits until the year 2033. And at that time, the reserves are done, and whatever the tax income coming in will be able to pay 79% of scheduled benefits. Gang, they're going to fix this. The Social Security wage base is going to probably rise a little bit, but all of this stuff is to say don't worry too much. Don't worry. It's going to get fixed. It's going to be there. And you can feel confident that, like, as you plan, I don't think it makes sense not to presume that you'll have this. That's all I can say. I don't think so.
And I would say for everyone listening, if you don't have an account, go make an account. It's a very user-friendly website. It gives you all the projections at 62, your full retirement age 70. And after we had our webinar with Heather and she turned us on to that tool that's on there, you can go in there and you can plug in future earnings. Because don't forget, like in my case, if I go on there right now, it shows what I will get at 67. That's assuming that I make what I make right now
which you won't.
until I retire. People don't realize that if your income takes a big hit and it drops for the next 10, 15 years, that's going to impact your future Social Security earnings. And you can plug in the amount and see how it will be impacted on the website.
What did you plug in? How much did you reduce it by?
Oh, I went to zero.
Oh, you're feeling
Worst
very
case
negative
scenario.
about me. You mean
Worst
to
case
basically say that I freak out and say I'm done?
Yeah,
right?
I think about this stuff. I have to. You can't just pretend like it's going to be this way for the next 20 years. But no, I didn't put in zero. But I just said, okay, what happens if we go to like a part-time model and my income drops in half? And you plug that in, and it shows you. And you know what? Yeah, your future benefit takes a hit, but it's not like completely demolished. It drops by like a few $100s.
Yeah. And, like what's nice about having the modeling is that it can help you even with decisions around like, well, maybe what I want to do is actually decide that I will work less because I think I can work longer. I think that's a big question. A lot of people that we encounter are people who say, what would happen to my Social Security if instead of working, full bore through my 50s and then I kind of gasp at the finish line to 60 and I'm done? Or maybe I stop working in the same way and my earnings are reduced from age, say, 50 to 65, but I can make it to 65 or 67. And you can play with that. What a great tool to have in looking at your future. And I agree with you, Mark. I think it's very encouraging to do it. And it starts to feel like you've got some power in your decision making. So go ahead and get it going. All right. Make that happen. And let us know if you have any problems, because we would love to talk to you. If you've got a question about Social Security or anything else going on in your financial life, don't forget, we are here to help you out. Go to JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button and write us a note. And if you'd like to join us on the air live, Mark will do everything else. He is the best executive producer in the world, at least for another year. That's 18 months, Mark, at least 18 months I can get.
That's it.
Well, I mean, that's what I promised you that things are going to possibly change in 2.5 years. That's what I mean to say. In 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Yeah, that's what it'll be. All right. So that's it. That is the program. Thank you so much for listening and hanging out with us. Mark Talercio is the co-host and executive producer, king of all things web. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. Put your hands metaphorically on someone's back. Someone needs a little boost. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Paramount Podcasts.